What I actually remember most clearly is that about 2 months in, David, not his real name, mentioned offhand that morning erections had come back more consistently. That was the thing that told me we were probably on the right track, because he hadn't even been focused on that. He'd been tracking performance anxiety, timing, all of that. But the morning erections coming back meant the blood flow piece was actually improving. And I think by that point, he'd been on the powder for maybe 5 or 6 weeks and walking more, but I'll get to that. That's what matters when you're trying to figure out whether someone's issue is physical or mental or a mix of both. So, backing up. He came in, I think he was 58, maybe 60, somewhere in there, and the complaint was pretty straightforward. Desire was fine. He was interested, but his body wasn't keeping up, and it had been gradually getting less reliable over maybe 2 years. Not sudden, not tied to a new medication or some big life event, just this slow decline in how well blood was getting where it needed to go, which honestly is one of the most common things I see in that age range, and one of the least explained. Nobody had walked him through what was actually going on in his body. He'd been told, it's normal with age, which, I mean, it is common, but that's not the same as saying there's nothing you can do about it. So, here's the basic idea. There's a molecule your body makes called nitric oxide. Think of it like a signal that tells your blood vessels to open up and let more blood through. When you're younger, your body makes plenty of it. But as you get older, that signal gets weaker. The blood vessels don't relax and open as easily. So even though the brain is sending the message, you're aroused, everything upstairs is working, the actual physical response is just sluggish. It's incomplete or hit or miss. And that's not a desire problem. That's a circulation problem. Well, not just circulation exactly. That's a lazy way to put it. It's more like the chemistry that controls blood flow is breaking down. Your body either isn't making enough nitric oxide, or what it does make is getting used up too fast, or both. And in David's case, I think it was both, especially given that his diet wasn't really giving his body much to work with. Low in leafy greens, barely any beets, not much of the stuff that actually feeds that system. So part of what we talked about was giving his body more of the raw materials it needed. Foods like arugula, beets, spinach. These actually give your body what it needs to produce more nitric oxide through a pathway most people don't even know about. And then on the supplement side, an amino acid called L-citrulline, which basically helps your body produce nitric oxide more efficiently. Now, we also talked about, and I should mention, there was a nitric oxide support powder he ended up using. I think I'll link it below if I can find the right one. And the reason it even came up was honestly just practical. David wasn't going to start eating beets every day. He just wasn't. And buying all the individual ingredients separately, preparing them, trying to stay consistent with that, it wasn't realistic for how he lived. So the powder was just an easier way to get those same building blocks into his system on a daily basis. It wasn't a fix. I told him that. What I didn't expect, or maybe I should have, was how much the consistency mattered more than the intensity of any one thing. He wasn't reporting some dramatic overnight change. It was more that over several weeks, the baseline shifted. Erections were more reliably starting, more reliably holding, and the anxiety piece started to sort itself out once the physical reliability came back, which is something I see a lot. The performance anxiety is usually a reaction to the physical problem, not the cause of it. But it creates this loop where each time things don't work, it makes the next time harder mentally. Once the blood flow support was there and things started working more predictably, the mental part just I also had him walking more, 30 minutes a day, which sounds basic, but when you move consistently, the physical act of blood flowing through your vessels actually stimulates your body to produce more nitric oxide on its own. So you're helping from both directions, giving the body the raw materials and also triggering it to make more naturally. And I think that combination is what actually made the difference for him more than any single... Anyway, he's one of the cases I think about when someone comes in with the same thing and they've already been told it's just age or it's just stress. Because sometimes it is, but a lot of the time, there's a blood flow component that nobody's actually tried to address. And when you do, even in pretty simple ways, you see changes that tell you the system was capable all along. It just needed, I don't know, I keep coming back to the word support.